Hello Captains, it's me Tonic TZW. We're here with the campaign reward ship, the Minegumo, and I watch videos as well, and I've been watching a few videos of other people and playing different builds and a little bit of mix and match. Some playing as gunboats, some playing as torpedo boats, and I think it was Zakoon did one using evil sparks. So I've had a look at how I like to play, and I've put a build together, and we can run through that for our captains and inspirations to start with. So we're running Takeo Kurita, and we have gone pretty much for a full gunboat build, and in doing so we're obviously giving up concealment, and everybody thinks that Japanese destroyers are all about their concealment and sneaking around and shooting torpedoes off. But I wanted to play this one a little bit different, and you'll see that the evil sparks there gives you some extra HE penetration, but you lose a lot of your HE damage, which is why I've got mortar selected as well. So I'm only losing 7% of my HE damage overall. And as far as the ship modules go, in the first slot we're going to take main battery mod 2 to give us some extra traverse speed, because the larger guns on this destroyer do turn a little bit slower than the smaller caliber guns. And we've gone for gunfire control system mod 2 to give us reduced dispersion and some extra range, and that is an epic mod. So we've got a 3.7 second reload, but we can shoot out to 12.4 kilometers, and that surprises some cruisers and battleships. Plus we've got that incoming fire dispersion, which means it's harder for them to hit us. But we do have 6 kilometer detection on this one. But let's get into the game and play it. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a huge damage, all the medals game kind of thing. I was playing to test out a build, not looking for anything spectacular. Wasn't sure on how it was going to play in comparison to my normal build, and I'll apologize if I sound a bit stuffy and sniffly, but I've just had a crazy sneezing fit just as I was getting ready to record this, so I hope I don't get a repeat of that sneezing fit while I'm recording this video. Now, I didn't have the team list up at the start there because I cut the video a little bit too short, but there is a Minegumo on red team as well. There are also 2 radar cruisers, one of which is a Buffalo, and I think the other one is a Chapayev. And seeing those shells come straight across the top of me tell me that there is at least 1 cruiser waiting here for me. And given that the cap is turning, that's the Minegumo coming in, and so I have no doubt that he has pushed into this cap because he's got a radar cruiser for support. I'm calling for assistance, and I want to let him turn the cap a little bit more because I'm not located, as you can see. This Minegumo obviously has his head screwed on. He's torping where I might be hiding, but I'm not quite there. We're going to pull out, and we're going to lock targets, and we're going to fire our guns and get a few cap resets to start. And we are going to pop our smoke screen because there is the Buffalo who immediately sets us on fire, and he's going to get another salvo in on us as we start kiting away. We're going to keep moving, and we're going to get hit again, but we're now going to turn and fire our torpedoes, and we're going to overlap the torpedoes and hope we can get a dope and a smoke. But I think they have got 2 ships on that cap because it's turning quite quickly, and we didn't get enough of a cap reset. But we put a few towards the exit of the cap in the direction the Minegumo was heading, and then we're going to come around the smoke screen, get the Buffalo spotted, and hope that somebody is going to put some fire on him because I want this cap. There's the radar. Yep, we're going to have to keep moving. We may as well keep shooting while the radar's up. And what I didn't notice here, and I'm going to thank this guy for the sacrifice that he made, is there's a battleship pushes in, but we land 2 torpedoes on the Buffalo, and we're going to kite away. We've got the range here, but look at the fire coming in on me. This is a team who were focused on destroying a destroyer, but I don't want to let them do that. The Buffalo is just about to go out of range. Their Minegumo is dropping another smokescreen for the cruiser, and as short duration as they are, it's going to help them to wheel on that battleship. And I felt bad for pulling back off the cap as I get a kill assist. But there was no point in me sitting in the middle of a capture point with 2 radar cruisers and a destroyer there. That would have been silly of me and would have potentially thrown the game towards red team very, very early on, you know, within the first couple of minutes. But there's the Chapayev asking people to shoot at him, looking at what's going on around the map. Charlie Cap's uncontested. There isn't a single ship on there, so our team have gone straight through. I'm going to try and get on this Massachusetts, and as I said, all I was doing was trying to have a look and see how Evil Sparks worked against these other ships. Unfortunately, you know, without a huge amount of great big ships in the game, I don't think we truly saw the benefit of it. So in a battleship heavy game where you've got range, you've got the short duration smokes, then potentially yes, it's useful. But as you can see here, battleship parked on the corner, but the team are nowhere near able to do anything in regard to spotting, because everybody knows it's a destroyer's job to spot. You know, when you've got all these big battleships, you can afford to tank some damage. But there's the Massachusetts. We're going to put a couple of torpedoes across that corner. We're going to fire our guns. We're not spotted firing, so we are going to push back in towards the capture point. I don't know what went on with Red Team's Minegumo or how many hit points he has left. But we can expect potentially that he's going to push back in. But look here across there on Charlie Cap. Red Team have sailed all the way down the back of the islands and come round behind our guys that have pushed through. So they've got a crossfire, not left to right, but front to rear, because they've got the Minegumo and the Harlem in front of them. And they've got a cruiser and a battleship behind them. Now, I was expecting the destroyer to try and come in and contest the cap from where I fired those torpedoes, but he is quite a way out. And although I do want to put shots onto these guys, I've still got 30 seconds to go for the cap. Now, at the end of the game, I did have a look and see what build the other Minegumo was running, as I'm looking across there to A-Cap, where we've got 3 ships contesting. I think they're against 2. And I'm just hoping that they will push it, or at least try to keep that cap contested. And we have a Njord pushing around behind our guys, and I think it's an Otago as well. So we're going to put that short duration smoke screen out here, and we're going to try and get some cap resets and potentially some fires and a little bit of extra damage off this Njord, but he's just a little bit too far away, and I can't afford to be in open water doing this, because that Otago there would absolutely slap me silly given half a chance. But we've got this cap turned. It looks like the Massachusetts is abandoning B cap, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to push over, keep these guys spotted on C cap, try and keep them reset and stop them from picking up a cap advantage here. The more damage we can do, the longer we can keep that cap from being taken. I always do say that cap's a king, and if you can't take a cap, you should at least try to contest it, or to prevent Red Team from taking it completely, because all the time that you are keeping that cap reset, they're not taking it, they're not earning points for it, and it means they've got to sit there a little bit longer, and they become the piggy in the middle then. And I'm looking around myself, and I was thinking of heading to sea, but this Massachusetts is making a run for the center of the map, and so this is where the single fire torpedoes come in. We're just going to literally layer cake those ones across there. Great movie if you've never seen it, Layer Cake. A bit of Pierce Brosnan in there. You know, the old James Bond, but before he was Bond, and it's just as good. But just in case this Massachusetts manages to avoid all those single fire torpedoes, we are going to set them on fire at the same time, and I did feel that there was a better chance of setting fires with this build on the Minegumo, and we pick up our first kill of the game to go with our kill assist. Only 74,000 damage, but we did manage to get A cap resets against those guys pushing onto Charlie, and I'm looking around now and thinking, where do I go from here? Red team have all migrated towards Charlie Cap, so I think I'm going to have to come in behind them. Misses, that's what she said. We've got the cruisers for backup. They've taken A cap, and at this point in the game I was thinking they've still got a destroyer out there. It is 5 ships plays 4. We have an advantage. We can allow that advantage to tick up. All we need to do is stay alive and stop red team from taking another capture point. But our team, all 4 of them well behind me there, don't seem to want to hold back. Everybody's hungry for damage. Everybody's hungry for high scores. I'm playing sensible because what I'm not going to do is cut in tight to the corner of that island. I've made that mistake before and paid for it, so I'm going to go the long way around behind this island and then come back in and spot on Charlie. God, I have got the sniffs today. Excuse me one moment. So this is a bit of a long way round to go, but we are playing safe and we are playing sensible, and that's something that I see not happening a lot of the time. I've got another game that I played earlier that I might look at putting on the channel because we had the game in the bag, and basically a battleship and a cruiser went after a destroyer, and the battleship didn't make it. Now I wonder why that might be, because I was on the other side of the map, and why they decided to try and run him down, I don't know. Trust me, there is more than one way to win a game, and I did talk about that in a video previously. But in domination, yes, killing ships does help, but owning capture points and controlling those capture points is going to give you an advantage that, as long as you play sensible, is going to be pretty much unassailable. When you've got a game that is potentially 100 points difference between red team and blue team, you need to stay alive. Now, I was hoping that that Njord would be spotted for a little bit longer, but looking at where our team are, none of them have got line of sight on where he is, because he's backing up from that island. He knows he's spotted from the rear now, and he's going to go forwards again, but we're going to single fire some torps out there, because he's got a choice. He either sails straight into them, or he's going to have to turn out, or he's going to have to go straight forwards. Now, he's just damage control his fires. That's a beauty for us, because that damage control party isn't going to last forever. There's one fire. We're going to stay on him here. I am concerned about torpedoes from the Njord, because they are long range and they are very fast, so we're going to continue to back up. Because what I'm expecting is, if he has fired torpedoes, he'll have fired them in the direction of my smoke screen, and I don't need to be in this smoke screen anymore to take this cap. We've got 8, 7, 6 seconds to go. We've got the Harlem spotted. We've got the Otago spotted. The destroyer is out there somewhere. And I'm kind of looking at where my team are, and then I decide I may as well chip in on this Harlem, act as a distraction for the team, and draw fire from either the Harlem or the Otago there. I think we do get a fire on the Harlem here, but somebody else is going to pick up that kill. We get another assist, and so we're going to switch our guns onto the Otago, and look, it is working exactly as planned. He has started shooting at us, which means that he's not shooting at other members of the team, and they're going to get a little bit braver and start pushing through. But look at B-Cap. It is starting to turn red. Now that is good for me because it tells me exactly where the other Minegumo is. He is in B-Cap. Now you'd think with 3 cruisers around him, it is 3 cruisers, isn't it? Yes, it is. You'd think that they'd be able to take care of that destroyer. One of them has got him spotted. We're going to just keep wailing on this Otago. Slightly longer reload, as I said. Very floaty shells, but we get another fire and we pick up our 3rd kill of the game, along with 2 assists. Phew, a lot of talking in this one. Believe it or not, I don't script this. I play the game. I remember what the game was like. I watch it back a couple of times, and then I basically hit record and do a full narration and dialogue through the entire video. So I did say it wasn't going to be all damage and medals. 87,500, 3 kills, 2 kill assists. We played our caps there with 2 full solo caps and 8 cap resets. XP tells the tale though. We're above 2800, almost on 2900 there. So that is a pretty solid game as far as XP goes, and they did manage to kill that Minegumo in the end. So yes, don't forget, you can super thanks on the video, you can take up a channel membership, or if you look at the channel description, there is a PayPal link in there, which means that YouTube don't take 1/3 of any donations. And as always, please do remember to smash the like button, leave me a comment, let me think, or let me know which ship you took from the campaign, if it was the Minegumo, and how you're playing it, and do you enjoy it. As always, until next time, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.